Hey everyone, how to stay active and fit with the 3 tips I learned this past week. So we are live, it's Monday night, so let's add a spark to this mayhem that has been going on all around us. So as you can see, I need to make some light of the current situation that we're in right now because it's been pretty gloom and doom, right, the past couple of weeks. So I'm turning a corner. Last week, during last week's live, I told you that I was going to try to pump us up, motivate us, and that's what I'm here to do today, right? So I'm here to motivate you guys to stay active, to stay fit. So if you're here on the live, just type in live below so I know you're with me, all right? I need some people with me, right? We're all social distancing, so I need some people. I need to know there's some people with me. So have you thought this to yourself this past week? I feel so out of control with all the chaos going on in my house. How do you stay fit without being able to go to the gym? How many of you have felt that way? How many of you have thought that? I know I have. Personally, I've had this issue in the past, trying to balance kind of life, family, work, staying active, but I've been always able to manage. And now, without being able to go to the gym, without being able to work in our work settings, it's like mayhem, right? It's chaotic. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm taking it day by day, but I see some positivity on the horizon. So I feel a little bit better, as you can tell, today because I actually have a dedicated workspace at home now. So I actually have dedicated office space in my dining room, and I got my new sit-to-stand station. So I'll show you guys a little sit-to-stand station right here. We got a little sit-to-stand station going on because if I sit too long, I get low back pain. So how many of you are out there or with me? You're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, with sitting more than an hour, your back starts to hurt. So just type in back pain into the comment box. I want to make sure I'm not alone and I'm not just getting old and it's not just me. So one of the things that really helps me out a bunch is making sure I don't sit longer than a half hour. So I will kind of stand up and switch it out throughout my day. So at my office, at the university, I have a sit-to-stand station, so I'm constantly standing. But last week, when I was home the whole week, I wasn't able to do that. So the back's been killing me a little bit more. So let me know if I'm not alone here. So we all had big goals for 2020, right? So many of you had told me what your goals were for 2020, and we had big goals for spring races, right? So many of you were, whether you're running Boston, whether you're running New York City half, whether you're running the Cheshire half, right? There were so many big races, and you had goals for it. And plans have changed, right? So we can't let ourselves dip into a place that we don't want to go, right? We don't want to lose everything that we worked for up until this point. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Dr. Dwayne Scotty. I'm a physical therapist. I am an educator. I'm the creator of the Healthy Runner podcast, as well as the Healthy Runner Facebook group, as well as Spark Physical Therapy, where we help keep runners on the pavement doing what they love without pain, rest, or multiple trips to the doctors. So I am pivoting this week to keep up with you and your needs at this time. So we are happy to offer virtual telehealth visits 7 days a week based upon your schedule. That time is convenient for you. We have always met you where you are and your expectations and goals, and have kind of really met you where you want to go with your goals, specifically race goals and performance kind of things. And I'm going to continue to meet you where you are at. And right now, that includes virtual sessions. So let's be honest. Let's get an honesty check here. How many of you are worried or scared right now? So put it in the comment box whether or not you're worried or scared. I don't know if you guys saw the post really last week on last week's Monday Night Spark. I was kind of giving you a little my real feel, as well as last Saturday. I put out a live. I think I was pretty put myself out there. I was just letting you know how I felt. I was definitely worried, scared, uncertainty. Things are changing rapidly, right? All around us. And that's normal to feel that way. But the thing is, we're all in this together, right? So we're a part of this community, this running community, and we're in this together. And I want us tonight to be a support group for one another, right? We have to, and we will persevere, and we're going to do it together. And we're going to come out stronger for this, right? In more ways than one, whether or not it's personally, maybe it's, you know, who knows, like this could be a silver lining. Like I was just talking to my family earlier at dinner, like I'm never ever home during the week for dinner, right? So the fact that I'm able to actually have dinner, family dinners with them is a blessing in disguise, right? So we're going to be stronger in our relationships, in our personal life, hopefully in our work, maybe be more productive perhaps if we're not in the office, or maybe less productive, right? So depending upon where we can go with that. But also tonight's topic is your health, your fitness. That's what I'm concerned about. That's the whole purpose of this group, is to make sure you're staying active, make sure you're staying fit, and we're going to come out stronger on the other side of this together. All right, so let me just jump on here. There's a bunch of you guys jumping on. Amy, thank you so much for tuning in. Dimitri, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Christina's here on the live. What's up, Christina? Good to see you. Thanks for seeing you. I missed seeing you on Sunday for our training run. No more for now. Katrina's here. Hey, Katrina, how are you? Margie, thanks. I'm glad you made it to the live. Holly, so good to see you. Thank you so much for jumping on. Marvis here. Sundar's here. So Katrina says she's had back pain. Yes, like so many of us. Doug, what's up, man? How are you? Good to see you jumping on here. And Holly says she gets upper back pain in her shoulders, maybe stress. Absolutely, Holly. So definitely I see that a lot. Shoulders, neck area, stress. Remind me, send me a text later. I'm going to send you some exercises for that. So I'm going to take care of you. So Katrina's uncertain, Marva's worried, and people are just not distancing, Marva says. So yes, guys, we got to distance. We really, really do. That's the only way. We're going to flatten this curve, right? Everyone's heard about it so many times, and I'm sure everyone in this group is well aware and educated to make sure they are distancing themselves. So thank you guys for jumping on live. Those of you who are hopping on the replay, you didn't see this during the live, just type in replay into the comment box so I know you did catch this, and I'll be able to give you a shout out, and I thank you for catching this replay. So thank you guys for being honest with me. And so let's get into my 3 tips that I learned this past week to stay active and healthy amidst all the chaos around us. So tip number 1, we have to embrace change. Change happened. It happened very sudden for most of us, right? We went from like 1 week having our normal lives to the next week, literally everything turned upside down. And initially it was like a shock, right? And then it was like, oh, this is only gonna be for a week or 2. And now it's like settling in like, hey, this might be for much, much longer, right? This is not only gonna be a week or 2. So as runners, we typically are pretty regimented and structured, right? So maybe we could be classified as having type A personality. I know, guilty as charged. Put it in the comment box if you know that you are a type A runner. So this would mean that you're the person who measures out your portions, or you eat the same thing every single day. So guilty as charged, turkey sandwich every day for lunch for about 20 years since college. Sometimes I'll slightly modify that. I've actually been going to the salads of late for lunch, but that's pretty much me. It's pretty regimented, and you run the same route every day. So I'm guilty as charged as well. I like the same route, whether it's not, I'm going from the gym, I do the same route. From my house, I do the same route. So that's me. You have the same routine each time you go out. Either maybe you're eating the same thing before your runs, right? Before your races. You always have that like specific meal, you know, that works out for you. Or you have always that go-to. What do you eat right after you're done with like a long run, let's say. So you know who you are. I know you guys are in this group, but we need to embrace change. And it's hard for us, right, to embrace that change. It is tough. Will, what's up, man? Thanks for jumping on Instagram here. Good to see you. And we need to be able to embrace that change and go really kind of embrace it. We need to. And I've started to do that myself, because this is not normal for me to be home for this many hours. Usually I'm home literally from like 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. and then I'm out the door and I'm, doing my thing all day long. So I'm embracing the change. So I hope you guys embrace the change as well. So tip number 2, we are going to structure your day. All right, so we need some structure in our day, especially if you met the criteria for number 1 and you are that type A personality, then we want to make sure that we are structuring our day. So I just want to give a little shout out to a couple of people who jumped on here. Amy, so good to see you. Christina says, same here. I can't wait till this is all settled to get back in the group runs. Absolutely, Christina. Holly says she's type A. I could tell about that, Holly. Katrina says definitely type A runner with more than one chart. So Holly also says avocado toast for breakfast every morning with Trader Joe's, everything but bagel seasoning and some hot sauce for breakfast. Wow, getting spicy in the morning there, Holly. Yeah, that sounds delicious. And then when you added the hot sauce, I was like, I don't know if I'd do the hot sauce. But Marva's a type A runner as well, just like so many of us. So we need to add some structure to our day, right? Tip number 2. So we want to start as if you normally would when you were going to work. So for example, today, Monday, call me crazy, but I kind of like Mondays. I know people like dread Mondays, but I actually love what I do for work. And on the weekends, I do get a little bit lax in terms of my nutrition, right? And just my whole schedule. So again, going back to the type A personality, I like getting back in my routine. So for example, every morning I usually get up, typically I would get up at 4:30, but now this past week, I'm like, you know what? Let me actually take this time to actually get some sleep and some rest and get a little better sleep hygiene. So that's been a goal of mine. And so I get up at 5 a.m. And so this morning I got up at 5. I pretended I drove to the gym and went for my normal run. So this morning was a nice, easy 3-mile run, but I didn't go to the gym. So I just left from my house, did my 3 miles, came back in and did my workout. So this was my first home workout. I don't know if you guys saw it in my story. I was actually pretty excited. I was actually surprised, honestly, because I've never, ever been a home workout person. Ever since college, it's been the gym at minimum 3 times a week since I graduated college, which is now 17 years ago, I guess now. So I've always been a gym person, and that's been my routine, structured, again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday are gym days. So I did my normal Monday routine this morning. I went for my run, I did my workout, I showered, I had my breakfast. So again, I got back to my normal routine. Usually when I do that, usually when I exercise, it's an apple with my protein shake. That's my breakfast. Usually when I'm home, so let's say on the weekend, or usually the one day I don't exercise during the week, I'll usually have my protein with some cereal, so or a bagel, right? So something different, but I can't eat bagels every single day, right? That's not going to be good for me overall. And so I got on my routine. I had my apple, my protein shake, and then I clocked into work. I came into my office, and it was just like I was going into the office. So try to get into structure, right? So think about the things that you were doing on a routine basis. Try to get back in that schedule and structure. I think that will help you be able to cope with all the madness that's going on. So those of you here on the live, do you guys want to learn more about running injury prevention or prehab? If so, type in prehab into the comment box below. Let me know down below if you want to learn a little bit more about prehab. So let's get to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is get your workout in. So I just said, get your workout in. Okay, so you need to exercise, right? That's how we're going to cope with all this madness. So you're not able to go to the gym, but you need to exercise now more than ever. So like I said, I got out of my comfort zone this morning and did my home workout, right? That I never, ever do. I literally never have worked out of my house ever. On vacation, I even hate doing vacation workouts because it's not the full access to the equipment that I usually have, and I have to modify it, but I do wind up working out while I'm on vacation. So we all need to exercise now more than ever. So why do you think we need to exercise? So I'm going to test you guys, those of you who are here on the live. Why do we need to exercise? Put it in the comment box. Why do you think we need to exercise? And I bet you probably realized this more these past 2 weeks than you probably took it for granted before that, right? You probably didn't think about it much. I'm just gonna wait for you guys to type it in here. We probably took it for granted, and you didn't realize the benefits of the exercise that you were getting beyond really this week. And why do we need to do it? So what have we talked about? Think about those of you who are listening on the podcast. Think about what we've talked about in our first 6 episodes of the podcast. We talked about the Spark Blueprint, right? So I know many of you have listened to that, and so whether or not you went to a big box gym and you were doing strengthening on your own, doing your own program, or you went to a small group training facility, or you're working with a personal trainer, right? You need to keep that up so you don't lose your fitness and honestly your mind, right? You need to keep that up. So during this time period, when we're all socially distant, we need to keep up exercise, right? So let's go back to the blueprint, which my overall philosophy is we need to do what in order to run? Fill in the blank there. I'll give you like a quiz question. What do we need to do in order to run? So Katrina says it improves immunity and mental health. Absolutely, Katrina. And the mental health side, like, woo, I really felt that last week, right? With all of the uncertainty, with all the stress, right? With all the worry, the anxiety that we all felt. Like, how good did it feel for you to go out on your run, Katrina, right? So Holly says stress and anxiety reducer. I know you're feeling that. And Marva says help with stress, etc. Right? So that is a big stress reliever. We know that. But now let's go back to the blueprint. What do we need to do in order to run? Do we just go out there and run every day? Is that our training? No, right? In order to improve your performance as a runner, in order to make sure you don't get injured as a runner, we need to train in order to run. Right? So what do I mean by training? Think about this, guys. This was in the blueprint, right? So the first principle we talked about in the training was strength training in order to run. Second principle, jump training. So adding in some jump training. Third principle, training on one leg with your foot on the ground. Fourth principle we talked about was what? What was the fourth principle? So I actually just released that blog post the other day, is training for flexibility and recovery, right? So for those of you who haven't seen any of these Spark blog posts yet, you guys have to check those out at sparkyourtraining.com, because the blog post, if you haven't seen them yet, you're going to want to see these, because if you've liked anything I've ever said here on Facebook, on the live, any of the posts on Instagram that you've enjoyed, the blog posts are like a post on steroids. It's actually a collection of everything that you've seen, the live videos, the podcast episode, visuals with pictures, and then all the links, the bonus links to the videos of the exercises that I've talked about in those live trainings. So it kind of puts it all together. So I synthesize all that information. It takes me quite a while. So please check those out. I would love for you to check them out. I'd love for you to share them with your friends, because it takes me a lot of time to put that information together for you in a nice little format and package it up so you can understand it and be able to implement it, because that's my goal, is for you to implement that in order to be a healthy runner, right? So that was the whole blueprint. So those were 4 things that we can do to train in order to run. Now, the best part about that is we can all do that in our house, honestly. So we're going to be a little limited on some of the strength training that we can do, but all the other principles I've talked about, you can do them at your house. So if you want to learn specific actionable exercises for running, just type in exercises. Drop it in below. Type in exercises. So Sundar is jumping on here. Train better to run and stay injury free. He says, yes, absolutely. Marvin knows about her strength training, and She's been implementing that. I know she's been implementing the blueprint as we've gone along here. So if you want to learn specific actionable exercises to help you run faster, be stronger as a runner, be able to hit some PRs when we can eventually race again, put that into the comment box, exercises. So here is the deal, guys. So I'm taking this COVID-19 social distancing situation that we're in, this crisis that we're in, as a way to make some lemons. Not make some lemons. I'm going to make some lemonade from the lemons we've been dealt. So I'm not talking about like some powdered lemonade stuff like the Country Time, right? The powdered fake stuff. I'm talking about some like freshly squeezed lemonade, right? Some high quality stuff. So every single thing you go through is designed to grow you. And every experience made you who you are today. So remember that, right? We will get through this, and I'm taking this opportunity to be able to serve and help more of you. So to help you stay active, to help you stay healthy, improve your immunity, as Holly said earlier, and Katrina said earlier, as well as mental sanity, right? You've already told me, Katrina, your mental sanity, Marva's mental sanity, Holly's mental sanity, to improve that mental sanity during this crisis, and I want to do it together. So that is why I've created the Spark Online Fitness community, and it's really to help you move forward in your health when most people are retracting right now. We're kind of Netflix and chill and Disney Plus and just kind of binging the raiding the snack cupboard, if you will. So we are going to persevere throughout this, honestly, together. And we're going to come out stronger on the other end. As I said before, I still am going to continue to see my private clients at Spark Physical Therapy virtually to kind of help them continue to move forward with their goals. But this is an opportunity for all of us to come together and consider this, honestly, if you have liked any of the posts that I put out in the past and you really couldn't work with me for a certain reason. Maybe you couldn't afford to work with me privately, right? And do a session privately to actually work on your running and to become stronger as a runner and to get more fit as a runner. Or maybe you didn't live around the greater Hamden area and you lived more near Hartford area, and we've connected on Facebook, on Instagram, and you knew that you couldn't see me because it was a little too far drive for you, right? So we're going to now virtually be able to help you, and maybe you don't even live in Connecticut, right? So now I know there's a lot more people coming into the group from out of state, and you're listening to the podcast, and you're finding the podcast, and you're not in Connecticut. But now this is an opportunity for me to come into your living room. All right, I'm going to come into your living room, and you're going to come into my living room. So there's my training space over here. See my little ball there? We got a little mat. We got some basic equipment going on because you don't need a lot of equipment. So those of you who want to get in on this opportunity, this is something that I honestly would not have done if it weren't for this situation. But I want to be able to help you guys. I don't want you to lose your running fitness. I don't want you to lose your health and being an active individual, having an active lifestyle, because we know the benefits of that. We don't want to come out of the other side of this crisis having like America be even more unhealthier than we've already have been, right? So first thing you're going to get is access to a community of people who are after the same thing that we are, right? We want to stay active. We want to get fit or stay fit, honestly, and further improve our lives, right? And we want to improve our mental well-being. Like, how are we coping with all the stress? How are we coping with 4 people in the same house, like all day long, working, kids are going to school, you're trying to play teacher as you're trying to work, and you're trying to balance all of that, right? So how are we going to mentally cope with all of that? For me, my outlet's exercise. It always has been. Like I said, 3 days a week, always at the gym for the last 17 years. So for me, this is like huge. When you tell me I can't go to the gym, and I've been doing that for 17 years, and the longest time period I've ever done was like while I was on vacation. And even that, like I said, I was usually going to a gym while I was on vacation. But then in addition to the community, what we're going to do is we're going to do live. We're going to do live workouts right in my living room here via the Zoom platform. So I have the Zoom Pro platform, and we're going to be able to do those live and broadcast them into our Facebook community, so into our closed Facebook community. And if you can't make the live workouts, you don't want to work out at 6 a.m. or 6:30, then you can watch the replay and you can get your workout. You can do a lunchtime workout in your house, but you can replay the whole workout. So you can go through the workout. How many of you have used Zoom for your jobs this past week? It seems like that's just like blown up everywhere. Let me know if you've used Zoom for your jobs this past week. That's the platform that I'm going to be using. We can all be together, but still socially distant and be able to see each other's faces if you like. If you want to put your camera on, you don't have to, but you'll be able to see me working out live. So we're going to also engage in a virtual community of people where we're all socially distant, as well as Q&A. So any questions you have access to me. And I might bring on some other special guests. Haven't really kind of ironed out all those details, but we'll talk about your fitness roadblocks, your goals. So not only if you're struggling with, chronic knee pain that you've been running through and you haven't been able to run without knee pain, or you haven't been able to run without foot pain because you have this plantar fasciitis thing that always creeps up and kills you every time you step out of bed. We'll be able to help you with those things. So here's the best part, guys. Best part is I made this program super affordable because I want to help you guys during this difficult time. The only reason, honestly, I'm charging anything is because I know if I didn't charge anything, then you wouldn't do it. Like, that's the truth, and that's human behavior. I do the same thing all the time. I'll get these like free programs, I'll get free this, free that, and I don't utilize it, I don't take action on it. So I do want to hold you somewhat accountable. And so you will take action because this is going to be hard. And for some of you who need some motivation and you rely on the people around you in the gym to motivate you, or you rely on that personal trainer, you rely on that small group instructor, you rely on those classes, your Zumba class, or your kind of your barbell class, these are the things that you're going to need at this tough time right now. And that's what I'm here for. I want to be able to provide that motivation for you. I want to provide that accountability for you. And, like I said, you're going to be able to see these workouts a little bit later if you can't do them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do $30 a month for this program. Hopefully, honestly, only lasts a month. But if we need to go a second month, I'll do that for you guys. But unfortunately, probably this will close once I am able to go back to the gym. But I figured, hey, I'm going through this right now. Why not share what I've learned over my 17-year career, sport physical therapist, strength and conditioning specialist, working with hundreds, thousands at this moment, probably, athletes on conditioning, programming, why I do program in a certain way. So I'm no math wizard at all, but if we were doing exercises 3 days a week, that's literally $2.50 per workout, in addition to everything else you're going to get within the community, the group, the motivation, the accountability. So there's really honestly no reason for you guys to not want to do this unless you're already working with someone. If you are, great, because I just want you guys to be active. But I want to provide this service to you to keep you active during these difficult times. And if you've liked any of the exercises I've shared with you in the past from the Spark Your Training YouTube channel, you're going to see these exercises implemented in a specific program. Like, I'm going to be doing what I usually do for my workouts. So we're going to make it scalable, though. So depending upon your level, I'll show you regressions, how you can make it easier. And then I'll challenge, the most fit person in the group here to show you how you can make it harder. You should have seen some of the stuff I was doing this morning. It was actually pretty fun to be creative in the house. So we are going to do this 3 times a week to keep you healthy, to keep you running. And, it's been the formula, honestly, that went into the Spark Blueprint. So if you've liked anything there, like, see it implemented live and see it giving my rationale. And so you can honestly, my goal is you step away from these 4 weeks, or let's say we do 2 months. Who knows how long this thing's going on? Let's say we do 8 weeks. You step away with, you're like, wow, I have a program and I've done it for weeks and I know it. So I don't have to like look at a piece of paper and memorize it. I don't need someone with me to hold my hand in the gym. You can actually do that for yourself, because that is how you are going to be a healthy runner for the long run, right? You need to actually take these strategies and implement them yourself. So that's what I'm here for. So the format, guys, is this is going to be everything I do. So it's gonna help you for prehab, and then it's gonna also help you for performance. We're gonna start out with some foam rolling exercises, mobility work. Then we're gonna work some stabilizer muscles, all the guys that you actually don't work in the gym, that you all like neglect, and like the small hip rotator muscles and deep in your hip that you never work out, but are super important for you as a runner and help prevent those shin splints and help prevent the knee pain that you get. Every time you ramp up your mileage, I'm going to show you how to actually train those muscles and implement that. So when you are staying with your running, because everyone's going to still run, right? Because we need it right now more than ever. You're going to make sure you can run so you don't have pain. And then we're going to basically go into like a HIIT style workout. We're going to superset upper body exercise, lower body exercise, core workout, and then we're going to finish with some stretching. So some recovery. So that is what the program is going to consist of. Every single workout, it will probably run about 45 minutes, I'm thinking, maybe a little bit longer. And I'm looking to have fun with you guys. I'm looking for a community. I'm going to be doing it here anyway. I did it this morning, kind of take it as a trial run just to make sure that everything worked out well. The best part about this program is you're going to do it in the safety and the comfort of your own home, right? So you only need to leave your home. So it doesn't matter if you're new to fitness, you've been working out on and off, and you're like a weekend warrior. You like hardly go to the gym, or if you're like the dedicated gym goer like myself 3 times a week for the last 17 years, and you're running races. This program is for you. All right, so I want you guys to take action on this. If you're interested in this community, comment Spark Fitness below, and I'll send you the sign up information. As you can tell, I'm like super pumped about this. We're going to get into like mini band exercises. Those of you who are local, you guys are going to get a Spark mini band. If you're worried about equipment, you don't need much equipment. Honestly, you want to know what I actually used this morning? I actually used a little bucket. Everyone's got one of these guys around their house. What did I put in the bucket? We got some bricks. You can put anything in the bucket to add some resistance. So we have a bucket. What else did I use? I used a little sledgehammer. Everyone's got one of these around. So we can find some things you have around your house. You don't need to have any high-tech equipment, kettlebells, or dumbbells, or barbells, anything like that. There's ways that I'm going to be able to kind of progress or regress depending upon what equipment that you do have. Let me give a little shout out for Candace who jumped on, Gina who jumped on, Katrina says exercises, Marva says exercises, Amanda, what's up? Thank you for jumping on here. I appreciate it. So Katrina says she uses the extra time to work on something you never have time for. Yes, exactly, Katrina. So how many of you say like, oh, I know I should be stretching. I know I should be foam rolling. I know I should be doing strength training, but I never have time, right? So now you have some time. So let's take this opportunity, make some lemonade, right, out of the lemons we've been dealt, and actually focus on these areas you never have time to. So like I said, you come out of this stronger and healthier more than ever. Mark, thanks so much for jumping on here. So Marva, this will be offered in the morning. So I like to do my workouts before I start work. So I'm going to keep going to my first tip there. Schedule, keep moving my schedule. But you will be able to watch the replay. So if you want to do it later in the day, Marva, you will have the whole program within that Facebook group. You'll be able to see the whole program and go through the workouts. All right. So Marva wants Spark Fitness. Katrina says Spark Fitness. Holly says Spark Fitness. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for the support. So good to see you guys jumping on here and being engaged. So guys, let's wrap up what we talked about in today's training. We talked about 3 tips that I learned this past week, honestly, about staying active, staying healthy amidst all the chaos around us. And number 1 was embrace the change. Embrace it. You have to, right? If you don't, then it's gonna wear on you. It's gonna really wear on you personally, physically, emotionally, with your relationships, with your work, everything. So embrace the change. It's here. It's here. There's nothing we can do about it, right? It's out of our control, and we just need to embrace it. So now, what are you going to do to control what you can control at this point, right? Tip number 2, structure your day. So we want to add some structure to that day, make it look like your normal days were. So what you were doing when you were going to work. Number 3 was get your workouts in. Get them in however you need to get them in. So I'm providing one avenue for you to be able to do that together with me, and I can bring you on board, provide that guidance, motivation, accountability that you need. But if you have videotapes, I don't know who has videotapes anymore, but if you have exercises on YouTube that you're following, or you're getting one from your local Y, right? You're getting an exercise program, that's great. Use it. Just do it. That's all I want you to do is exercise. Be active, all right? So that was the 3rd tip. I hope this information was helpful for you during these uncertain times. If it was, just let me know. Type in helpful into the comment box, please. And if anything I said resonated with you, just hit the like, hit the love button. It will just help this be able to reach more people who are feeling down and out right now. They're feeling defeated. They're feeling like, I don't have the gym. I had these 2020 goals, and now look what happened. So now they're just like binging Netflix. Like, let's help them. Let's provide some motivation. Let's get them active, get them off the couch, get them exercising. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for giving me those little hearts there. I appreciate that. And so those of you that are listening on the podcast, thank you so much. Please, if you are listening on the podcast, I love hearing feedback. So there's a bunch of people over the weekend who were listening to the podcast as they were going out, socially distancing themselves, catching up, binge listening. They screenshotted it, dropped it in their story on Instagram or Facebook, or you want to drop it as a post in Facebook. I love that. I love knowing that this information is getting out to more and more people, and then we can help more and more runners. So thank you guys for sharing it out there. If you can share it, I love it. I appreciate it. Tag me at Spark Your Training on Instagram or on Facebook. That will bring you right to my Spark Physical Therapy Facebook page. And thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your Mondays. Remember, every Monday night we go live 8 p.m. So within our Healthy Runner Facebook group community. So keep us in mind in your schedule so you can get all your health and running related questions answered. Giving you a little sneak peek to next week's live, I'm bringing on an expert. We're doing an interview style with an expert who is going to talk to us about how we as parents are helping our children get through this difficult time. So we're gonna bring on an expert to interview. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. You will see some posts later in the week about this, but I'm actually very excited because I know as a parent myself, I'm interested in hearing about this information. So I hope you guys join us next Monday night, 8 p.m. Thank you again, guys. Stay active, stay healthy, and just keep running. Until next time.